How's school going so far?
It's going good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And football you're doing this fall?
Yeah, I'm doing football for my school.
All right. And remind me which you play for 91 too, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So who are your coaches?
Coach Dave Daly.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Coach Daly and then Logan's dad, Coach Tyson. But the head director is Carl.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Do you like Coach Daly though?
Yeah, I like Coach
Yeah,
Daly.
he's a good coach.
Yeah. Um, is there like a hard stop that we need to hit? Like do you have a time? Because we can
No, no.
because we
No.
can end it whenever if you need.
Well, you end it whenever you're ready to be done with me. I just appreciate you as kind of you to invite me to do this.
Yeah,
You've
well,
had a lot cooler people on your podcast so far.
you're up there. You're definitely up there. You and Coach Kevin Corrigan. That was a good one.
And then did I see you did
Ben Ware.
yeah, one of my former players. So I coached Ben. I unfortunately left there right when he was coming into high school, but I coached him growing up when he was like 8, 9, all the way through middle school.
Yeah.
So
All
how
right.
did that one go? Was that good?
That was really good. I'm going to watch him on Monday in Philly.
Yeah, you said you're going up to, are those the finals or semifinals?
Semifinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when are the finals? Like next weekend?
I think it's the no, I think they have a bye and then it's the next weekend. But
Okay.
I'm not too sure.
Are you excited for going up there?
Oh, I'm so excited.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'll introduce you and then we could get into it.
Okay, sounds good.
Today, we're joined by Coach Andy Taibl, Associate Director of Athletics and Leadership Program at St. Christopher's. Before that, he spent 13 years at St. Stephen's and St. Agnes in Alexandria, shaping athletes and leaders as a coach, teacher, and athletic director. As a former co-captain at Washington College, who led his team into the NCAA Championship game, Andy was later inducted into the Potomac Lacrosse Hall of Fame. For his impact on the game and lives around it, Coach Taibl, welcome to the Lax Locker Room.
Jody, thank you for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you are from, and who is your family?
Sure, absolutely. So I grew up in Northern Virginia. Went to a public school up there at Robinson High School. It's in Fairfax County. Um, and then went to college on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, as you referenced, Washington
Yeah.
College, and played there. Um, and then worked at St. Stephen's and was the head lacrosse coach there for 11 of the seasons, 11 seasons, I guess, during my time there. And now I've
Yeah.
been here at St. Christopher's for 10 years. Um, been married for, I don't even know, 18 years, I guess now. And we have an eighth grade daughter and a fifth grade son. So
Nice.
we live here in Richmond now, obviously.
Do they play lacrosse?
Daughter does, son does not.
Yes, son does not.
Yeah, son does not, but our daughter does.
Yeah.
She's a part of the Team 91 group.
Yeah. Does
Yeah.
she like it? She
Yeah,
like
she loves
lacrosse?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
hers are kind of lacrosse and basketball are her
Yeah.
big
Lacrosse.
kick.
I feel like girls like always get introduced in basketball and then like it. Like I know a bunch of girls in my school love basketball.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
How did you get into lacrosse?
So I have one older brother.
Yeah.
He's 5 years older than me, and he was introduced to it in like I guess he was in eighth or ninth grade
Yeah.
and started playing at Robinson when it had just become like a school sanctioned sport.
Yeah.
So I was in fifth grade at the time, and ironically got introduced to it because well, one, my older brother was doing it, so I wanted
Yeah.
to learn more about it. And growing up, I had been a big soccer kid, so
Yeah.
but I loved it right off the bat. And then, of course, it turns into, he and his buddies needed somebody to shoot on. So
Yeah.
for my birthday, he got me a goalie stick and a chest protector.
Seriously?
That
He
was
got you
it.
and then you just hopped in goal?
That was it. That was it.
That's
I'd never
awesome.
played organized lacrosse. And the funniest part about that was I was in fifth grade and I asked my mom about joining the local rec team. And she
Yeah.
said no because she thought it was too dangerous and I needed to stick with soccer. Um, but she would allow 10th grade boys to take me up to a local field and shoot on me. But I
Hmm.
couldn't play with my other fifth
That's
grade friends.
that,
So,
that's a good comparison. I
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So she made me wait until seventh grade. Seventh grade was the first year I got to start playing.
Did you play goalie?
Yeah, kind of, at that age, it's a little bit like I'd play half in the field and
Yeah.
then half in the goal.
Yeah.
Um, but definitely in soccer, I was like a defensive back and a goalie too. So goalie was
Yeah.
something I was pretty comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that responsibility of kind of being the guy
Leading your
back there who's
team.
got to try to help take care of the guys in front of him.
100%. That's one of the most important positions in lacrosse and soccer and whatever other sports has a goalie.
Absolutely. Yep.
Um, so my uncle Mark said you are one of the best goalie coaches there is. I can't even imagine being a goalie. Who wants to step in front of a 100-mile-per-hour lacrosse shot? How did you do it?
Um, well, I mean, I don't think it's, it's all that. You remember, like, as a goalie, your job is really to be there for your defense when they need it,
Yeah.
right? So if your defense does a great job, you're not seeing a lot of action.
Hmm.
So, but I think it's just something that, you either kind of, um,
Love or hate?
yeah, and you kind of grow to get used to it. It kind
Yeah.
of comes with the territory. I mean, I'll say it just, I don't know how you guys as attackmen and midfielders take the beating on your arms all game that you take. Like for me as a goalie, I look at that and I'm like, that looks miserable.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'd almost rather have people throwing stuff at me. At least I know it's coming.
yeah. We have this kid on our team named Logan Tyson. His dad, the assistant coach,
Yeah,
and he has the most bruises after a game I've ever seen. It's insane. I mean, he has it here, like all over him.
yep.
And it's just funny. I mean, it's just crazy because I mean, I don't take as much beating as him, but this kid, I mean, he has giant ones too. It's just purple and black bruises all down his arm. And so our coach got him like these like pads for right here.
Hmm.
And so we went to this game and he did the exact same thing and the same thing happened. So I guess he's just like I guess he
Prone to big
yeah,
bruises.
he's prone to big bruises.
I don't
Um
know how you see, but that's what amazes me is I don't understand how you guys do that, but you don't even feel it when you're playing and when you're dodging
oh
and carrying the
yeah. Well, it's
ball.
so fluent that you know, you don't really think about it unless it's just like you'll feel the really big ones.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
kind of how it is with a shot in lacrosse. There are a few spots where you feel it,
yeah.
but a lot of them, you don't really feel that much. They kind of just bounce off you, and then you're just worried about where the rebound went.
Yeah, and even now, shooters are getting so accurate that they're not really hitting. It's either gonna hit the cage or they miss. Really now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely what I've seen is
Yeah,
a big part of the evolution of the game over the last 10 or 15 years is just how well these guys at the higher levels and you guys as younger guys, how
yeah,
well you shoot the ball.
yeah. 100%. I mean, it's insane how you. I mean, you think about it now, and then you think about 10 years ago. It's a lot different than like my Uncle Mark.
Hmm.
He was telling me that he used to get hit all the time, but then when
Yeah.
he went up to college ball, he said he didn't get hit like nearly as much. Like he said, just shooters got so much more accurate, um, and I think he likes that as a goalie because he doesn't have to get hit as much, but he can also see the ball better.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't really know, but
Yeah. No, and I think that's the funny part is when you get to the level that your uncle got to, shooters, they're more mad at themselves if they hit you,
yeah.
than anyone else.
100%
Yeah.
because it's a missed shot. It doesn't
Yeah.
go in the cage.
Yep. Yep.
So, do you well, kind of already did this, but did you feel the goalie position has changed over the years that or remain mostly the same?
That's a good question. I think obviously as the game has evolved, right, and offensive players have gotten better and better, I think goalies have had to adapt to that.
Yeah.
I think now more you see goalies play a little tighter in closer to the cage,
Yeah.
not as high like up in the crease area, and a lot more of their movement and step getting behind shots is kind of lateral, like pipe to pipe,
Yeah.
instead of the old traditional way of kind of attacking out towards a shot. So I think
Yeah.
they've had to do that in order to buy a little bit more time before the
Mhm.
ball gets to them to try to get in behind it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the fundamentals of the position really have kind of stood the test of time and stay the same. You see the
Yeah.
best goalies, I think, in the PLL now or in college have great footwork. They're good balanced. There's not a lot of wasted motion in their fundamentals, and they're just
Yeah.
really good at getting, they've got good quick hands. They're good at getting their top hand to the ball. So those kind of things I think have always been the sign of a really good
Yeah.
goalie. But they've definitely had to adapt to the fact that,
Shooters are
um,
getting better.
yeah, and the game is just getting better.
Yeah.
It's faster.
100%.
All of you guys, even at your age, like you're faster than we were at your age. You're stronger. You guys are tougher. The game is just growing with
Yeah.
the level of the athletes that are playing it.
Yeah, and I mean, I to personally, I really like that because um I like having to not necessarily evolve, but it pushes people to get better. Like
Yep.
as you see, like if a goalie gets really good, then you have to extend your level of play and get as good as them or better than them in order to play at your best.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that I think has really probably helped grow the game is, you know, the goalie position. Like there are some really good athletes that play in the goal now. Your uncle was one, right? And
Yeah.
I've had the privilege to coach between your Uncle Mark and the guys I've coached now, like some really, really good athletes that hop in the goal. They don't all feel like they need to be field players and all that stuff. And when you've got a really good athletic guy in the goal who's
Mhm.
fundamentally sound, like it has forced over time, it has forced shooters to get better and better
Yeah.
in order to match that and still beat them. So it's definitely, I think, helped the game evolve, kind of both ways.
Yeah. So kind of going off of that, one of the most exciting plays in lacrosse is a goalie goal. Did you ever have a chance to score one or come close?
I did not. I coached a kid, a couple goalies after Mark at St.
Yeah.
Stephen's. In the state playoffs against Woodbury Forest, he scored a goal from like 85 yards away that made Sports Center's top 10.
Wow.
But I did not. I got one assist,
Yeah. You
one
got
in
an
high
assist.
school, carrying the ball in the clear, and I got near the top of the box, and then I didn't want the ball anymore, and I was looking
Yeah.
for a shooter, and I threw it to a buddy who just caught it and shot. So.
Yeah. And
Um, and then
that,
I had one assist in college too, actually in a national championship game, but that was just dumb luck, and I didn't even realize it was an assist. I threw an outlet pass to one of our D middies
yeah.
at midfield, and because nobody on the other team ever picked him up, and you didn't have to dodge anyone, technically I got an assist for it, but I didn't even know that until after the fact. But no,
That's pretty,
never scored a goal. The
never
last
scored a
goal I
goal?
last goal I scored was in seventh grade when I was telling you when I'd kind of play half in the goal and half in
Yeah.
the field. Um, and a lot of times I would just play defense or something like that, just
Yeah.
so I could practice, what it felt like to be a defender out in front of the
Yeah.
goalie, so I could learn how to better communicate and talk to them. But
Yeah.
coach was just like, "Hey, go down and play attack for the fourth quarter." And I basically was standing on the crease, and someone lobbed a ball into me, and I turned and finished. That was
Yeah.
about it. So
Last goal. Last goal of your career.
that's it. And it was probably, oh God, 35 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Maybe another shot
That's
next life.
right.
Next life.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So kind of do you think goalies learning the defensive position helps goalies understand their position kind of?
Absolutely. And I think it's important. I've, tried to tell the goalies that I've worked with, especially the young ones, like even if it's just in practice and you're asking your coach, just like, can you play in the field for a few minutes? Because I think a kid who starts in the goal and only stays in the goal has no idea how hard it is to play out in the field.
Yeah.
When you're a goalie, everything's out in front of you. But when you're in the field, as you well know, like there are people cutting behind you and next to you and people trying to set picks on you.
Yeah.
There are a million things going on that you have to keep your head on a swivel and see and understand. And if as a goalie you don't understand that, I think it's really, really, it makes it a lot harder to work with your defenders to help them be in the right spots and tell them, when we have to slide and recover and
Yeah.
the two slide is and all that stuff. So I do think, yeah, I think it's a huge benefit
Yeah.
for him to at least have an understanding of how challenging it is to be a field player.
100%. Uncle Mark said that um, he used to, in practice, he would let the backup goalie be the goalie, the starting goalie, and he would be a defense. He would learn the defensive position, and he said that really helped him like you were saying, understand the field, and that's what helped him become as good as he is.
Yeah, I remember with Mark, your uncle was probably the first one I started doing it with. But when we would be doing our scouting reports for practice at St. Stephen's, if we were getting ready to play, like Landon or Georgetown Prep or
Yeah,
Bullet or somebody in our conference, when we would go to do man up and man down, and so we were going to walk through what their man up team did, so
yeah.
our opponent's man up. I would have Mark be out of the goal while they ran it a couple times so that when he was in the goal, he knew exactly where the ball was headed and the looks that they were trying to get for it
Okay, I
off
like
their
that.
man up.
Yeah,
Because I felt like not only did that help him be a step ahead and be ready for where they were looking to get the shots from, but it also helped him in communication with our defense of where we might have to be quicker to one guy and slower to another, if we knew that guy was just going to be a transfer guy and wasn't looking to be a shooter. So, yeah, I think it
yeah.
definitely helps.
That's smart. Like just watching film and seeing what the other team is gonna do in their man up. I mean, I really like that. I'm gonna have to tell that to my coach.
Yeah,
You know,
it's definitely helpful.
watching, yeah, watching their man up. Just even like you're saying, the man up play is because I mean, we have a good goalie, Brady in the cage. He's a
Hmm.
great goalie. Um, So I think to even make him better, watch some film and see what they're going to be doing, to figure out their man up or
Yeah,
their offense and stuff.
yeah, yeah. And I
Um,
think I think the other thing to your point about that about is it a good idea for goalies to play in the field? Is I'm a firm believer that as a goalie, like you need to be positive with the team out in front of you at all times,
yeah,
right? They're giving everything they have, and at the end of the day, like your job, like I said earlier, is just to be there when there's a breakdown in front of you, and then do your job and try to keep the ball out of the goal.
yeah,
Um, but again, you've got to keep them positive and keep them up. And I feel like goalies do a lot better as far as being patient and positive with the defenders out in front of them when something does break down and you give up a goal, when you understand what they're going through, and how hard it is to play defense and midfield and all that stuff.
yeah.
I think it automatically helps you stay more positive when you have an understanding of how hard it is to do their job out in the field.
Yeah, because I mean, goalie's a hard position, but so is the field. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know where slides are coming from, and I mean, I think they're equally hard. I mean, I think they have their ups. I mean, you can't really compare an attackman to a goalie. They both have their ups and downs. But
Yep.
just seeing like we said, seeing the differences and seeing where everything kind of fits in like a puzzle will help
Yep.
you reach your full potential as a lacrosse player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think you are right. The positions are all like uniquely challenging, right?
Yeah,
In their own ways. So like as a goalie, yeah, it can be tough being in there and facing a lot of shots and doing all this
yeah,
stuff. But at the same time, you're not a midfielder who has to run down up and down the field two, three
yeah,
times and then sprint back on defense when you're exhausted and try to communicate, defend somebody, be ready to slide and do all that stuff. So
yeah.
every aspect of
Lacrosse has its
yeah,
challenges.
yeah, it has its own unique kind of,
Yeah.
challenges to it.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. I mean, I've never really thought of it that way, but now I have.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. As a co-captain at Washington College, what lessons from that championship run still guide you today?
Um, I think for me, most importantly, having the privilege to get to serve as a captain and be a leader is
Yeah,
always something that I've always felt very honored because it was like, voted on by my teammates.
yeah,
Um, and I'd say most important for me, I think, um, I think it was, just going through the experience of losing two national championships my sophomore and junior year, and
yeah,
then winning it my senior year. I think it was just that journey with those groups of guys. And so
yeah,
I think what it helped me take, at least as a coach and a parent, a father, um, and a husband and all that stuff is kind of to make sure
yeah,
you cherish those relationships that you have,
yeah,
and that you're doing everything you can to be as supportive to the people that you care about. And
yeah.
I think about
That's
that.
great.
Um, I think about that a lot, and that was definitely something that I tried as a coach, to instill in our culture. of the teams I've coached and worked with, probably more than anything. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that team chemistry piece and having respect and love for each other, because I
Yeah.
feel like that is going to be um, what probably brings you more success on the field than just natural talent.
100%. Building that team relationship. If everyone loves everyone and you're all best friends, you are gonna have the most success. And it doesn't even have to be like you said. You don't have to have the most talent.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. You've been in so many great positions: coach, athletic director, teacher, mentor. Which role has shaped you the most?
Um, I would think, a combination of all of them, but I think,
100%.
being a teacher and a coach and then working as an athletic director, I think has given me an opportunity um, to do what I love to do, with is connect with kids and try to be a positive influence
Yeah.
on their development. Um, because at the end of the day, for me, both when I was a head coach and now even when I'm still just helping coach a couple sports. Um, I do seventh grade football now at
Yeah.
St. Chris, so that's awesome for me. And then help out with lacrosse in the spring. Um, the most important thing to me is just trying
Be
to use
positive.
these opportunities that I have to work with kids to try to just make them better young men,
Yeah.
and to help instill some things that I think, some values that I think only sports can provide, that are going to make them more successful men down the road, and good husbands and fathers and all that
Yeah.
stuff. To me, that's at the end, that's all that really matters to me. How many games we win, I'm not
That's
worried
really
about it.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life skills. That's what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like learning life
And I
skills.
and I definitely feel like, as I became a coach, that was definitely it, because as a coach, I don't feel like um the winning is for you. It's not about you.
Yeah, it's
The,
about your
the
team.
boy, yeah, the boys
Team.
are the ones who go out and win games and win
Yeah.
championships and stuff like that. Your job is to create the kind of culture that makes them proud to be a part of it,
Mhm.
and want to work really hard for it. And then you hope that they realize, like, the success they had came from that hard work. And that's a good lesson for life. Like, if you
Yeah.
work hard and put your heart into something, then you should expect to be successful.
That's a quote I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. Um, what
Or
has
Mark or
been
Michael have told you that once.
yeah, Mark and Michael. Tell them that too. What has been your favorite season of coaching or some highlights from your career?
Hmm. Man, you got good questions.
Thank you.
Um, I would say probably the memories for me as a coach kind of go back to what I was just saying. It's not so much how well the teams did,
Yeah,
it's the relationships that I got to build with the players that I got to coach and their families, because
yeah,
it kind of becomes a family type thing. Those are what I took away as the most rewarding thing,
yeah,
getting to go to Mark and Michael's wedding, 10 years after I coached them, to me means more than ever coaching them.
yeah,
Um, so for me, I would say it's that. But I will also say, like, if you ask me, when I think of memories coaching, like, um, Mark and Michael's group, when they were seniors, that was just my second year as the head coach at St. Stephen's.
yeah,
And we were trying to still, like I said, we were trying to build a culture in which they believed that they could play with anybody. And I think what those guys were able to accomplish in that season, their senior year, of winning the school's first ever state championship.
yeah,
They beat Georgetown Prep, who had won like 48 games in a row and was ranked like one or two in the nation. They beat them in the conference semifinals. I think that was obviously what those guys accomplished was huge for us, trying to help our program believe it could compete with anybody.
yeah.
Um, so that would be obviously probably one of my more memorable ones. But then having some teams after them, um, after Mark and Michael graduated, that, won the school their first IAC championship and was the first team to finally beat Landon, who had lost to like 30 years in a row.
Yeah,
Some of those were, I think, special moments where it was really fun to see the boys, they bought into something, they believed in it, and they were able to make it happen. Was pretty fun to watch.
yeah. Watching your team grow, compete, love each other, and then win. At the end of the day, if they can love each other, be brothers, and then if they win, then it's just so memorable. You won't forget
Absolutely.
it. Like
Absolutely.
Pat and Chris Kavanaugh when they
Yep.
won. That I mean, I'm sure they're never gonna forget that, when
No, and
Pat
for
was
them,
on, Chris's shoulders, and that's just such a cool moment, brothers playing in the championship, just like they were.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, for them to get to do that together is,
Yeah,
that's going to be an experience that their whole family is going to remember
yeah,
forever. So,
forever. Um, how did your time at St. Stephen's and St. Agnes prepare you for the work you're doing now at St. Chris?
um, well, I think it was great. So that was my first real job in education, like working at schools with
Yeah,
St. Stephen's. So, um, in the 13 years that I was there, I got to work in 7 different roles and coach a bunch of different sports. Um, so I think that was really good for me to kind of learn what it means to work in education and be a teacher, coach, and the importance of your relationship with the kids,
yeah,
and how the responsibility that comes with that. So I think that was a really, really good learning time for me.
yeah,
Um, and then I think our transition here to St. Christopher's, thankfully, they're pretty similar schools, meaning that they're both Episcopal church schools.
yeah,
So they're very similar values and kind of like at their core, they're very similar. Now, one of the differences, obviously, St. Stephen's and St. Agnes is co-ed and St. Christopher's is all boys. So that obviously creates a different environment, but school-wise, they're very similar. But I think the opportunities just that I had at St. Stephen's helped really develop me so that when I came here, um, I felt like I had good confidence in ways in which I could support the leadership of the school, right?
yeah,
And support the athletic director that's here and the mission that he has for athletics here at St. Chris and the
yeah,
values that they're supposed to instill. And I felt pretty confident that those aligned with a lot of the values that I learned and tried to use as a coach and a teacher. So, yeah, I think it's just been a good growth experience for me
yeah,
as far as working with kids and working with the administrations of the school about what they want athletics to be for the boys' experience while they're in
yeah,
school.
and look like. I mean,
Yeah.
some schools just care. Some schools they care about the team, but some schools just care about winning. And
Hmm.
then some schools, it's building the team relationship like St. Chris.
Yeah.
So, I really like that, and I wish that like every kid has the opportunity to have that chance, to be on a team or go to a good school to understand what it's like to be brothers with each other, you know?
Yeah. 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 I agree. I mean, I think there can be, especially for young boys and girls, there can be nothing more valuable around your age group than being put in a place where you can play with guys that you really, really enjoy being around,
Yeah,
and that you feel like you can trust and you can lean on when you're having a good day or a bad day. Um, but that there's this environment that's going to make you want to be better, but not just better for yourself, but better because you want to, be better for the people around you.
yeah.
I
Be
think that's
be the
something
best you
that,
can.
yep, absolutely. Yep.
And just being the best you can also support a team, you know. If you're really good and the person next to you is not as good, they're gonna work hard to be as good or hit the next level.
That's right. Yeah, you're helping create a culture where everybody's trying to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yep.
What sports do you coach at St. Chris?
So I do 7th grade football right now in the fall,
Yeah.
which is awesome. It's probably arguably, I would say, my
Yeah.
favorite coaching that I
That's
do
fun.
now.
Coaching football is fun. It's a
Yeah.
really fun spot.
And for us, the middle school guys, so guys like your age, they have to choose a sport each season.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Now, there are some other activities that we offer that are kind of maybe strength and conditioning that aren't like sport related,
Yeah.
but they choose something each season. Excuse me, each season. So, what's kind of cool about it is, I would say more than half of the boys we're coaching in 7th grade football right now have never played organized contact football before. They've played
Yeah.
flag football and stuff like that. So, kind of helping them, number one, learn the game, two, be
Yeah.
comfortable with what football is, which is there's contact and
Contact.
it's
Yeah.
physical and all that stuff. And just watching the boys progress from now, we started this week and then we'll go till November and just watching how it helps their confidence grow and their belief in what they're capable of, I think is awesome. So I do that in the fall.
Yeah.
I do not coach a sport in the winter. And then in the springtime, I work with all the goalies in the lacrosse program. And then
Yeah.
I actually coach the JV defense for our JV head coach. So that's kind of fun for me because it's
Yeah.
a little bit more back to teaching instead of worrying about preparing guys for
Yeah. Big
trying to,
games and stuff.
yeah, big games. Yep.
Yeah. Um, what is the toughest school to compete against St. Chris?
Toughest school?
Yeah,
Well, I would say, are we talking about a specific sport or just in general?
just in general.
So in general, I would say, um, not necessarily toughest, but we have a pretty cool conference affiliation. So
Yeah.
with some schools that I think, we've been playing for 100 years in different sports.
Yeah.
So I think those are always very cool, challenging opportunities for our guys in all the sports. So like collegiate school,
Yeah.
Woodbury Forest. But then when you talk about certain specific sports, maybe like football, in particular, like Benedictine's a big one
Yeah.
and a tough school for us to have to get up and get ready for. So it kind of varies sport to sport, but I would say if you're asking me the toughest ones, I think for our guys truly to normally prepare for are schools like um, Collegiate
Yeah.
and Woodbury. Now, if you're talking specifically lacrosse right now, the team to catch is St. Anne's Belfield.
Oh, Stab, really?
Stab,
Y'all
Stab
play
has gotten
Stab?
Stab has gotten very good over the
They're
last
really
couple of
good.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where Stab is. I didn't know teams in Richmond like y'all would play Stab. I That's cool. I mean,
Yeah, so the one cool experience that we're able to provide for a lot of our teams is the opportunity to kind of have that, it's almost like a college-ish feel because we'll travel 2 and 3 hours to go play other private schools. So
it's kind of like a college, it's a mini college experience.
a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. I
We,
like
we
that.
like we don't do a bunch of overnight trips, and it's not as
Yeah.
fancy and as elaborate as your uncles when they went on trips with Maryland, and we're not
Yeah.
taking flights anywhere, but yeah, we're getting on the bus and we're driving up to DC
Yeah.
and Pennsylvania to play teams in basketball and wrestling and lacrosse and
Yeah.
football and going down to North Carolina. Like our lacrosse team will spend several days at the beginning of this spring break, this coming spring down in North Carolina playing some of the stronger private schools down there. So it's
Oh,
pretty cool.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is cool. I like that.
yeah,
Um, I mean, we don't do that. I mean, I go to Liberty Middle School. It's public school in Hanover, but
yeah.
we don't travel. I mean, it's either home or away. It's like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's how it was when I was growing up playing.
Yeah,
The middle school and high school that I played for, we would only play teams that were
yeah,
in our, within 20, 30 minutes
yeah.
of us. So,
Not far.
yeah,
Um, do you think there's a big rivalry between St. Chris and Collegiate?
I do. It is a pretty good one. And
Yeah,
what I'm thankful for is it's a very positive, healthy rivalry.
yeah. It's not a bad
Um,
one.
no, I think in all the sports, there's some sports where they're traditionally a little bit stronger than us, and maybe a couple where we might be a little bit stronger than them. But
Yeah,
on across the board, it's normally pretty evenly balanced.
yeah. That's what
Um,
makes it the most fun.
yeah, I agree. I think there's that, and I think the fact that, I think we're fortunate that a lot of our boys know each other, in certain avenues, whether they were
Yeah,
playing on club teams together, maybe rec basketball teams or whatever. So I think it keeps the rivalry good because it's competitive. Because who doesn't want to beat their buddy who goes to
yeah,
the school down the street? But at the same time, the sportsmanship and respect that the two schools have for each other, I think keeps it a very positive, healthy, competitive relationship.
yeah. Yeah, because all the kids on our on our lacrosse team, it's always like, who's gonna win this coming week? It's either St. Chris or Collegiate. It's always who they're talking about. Luca Hall, Rel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always
So
like
he's on your team?
Luca and Rel are, yeah. And
Okay,
then
so
who else? Who else? Bridger Clemens.
yeah.
Um, there's a
So all
couple.
those guys, I'm coaching seventh grade football now.
Really?
Like, yeah, I'll be going to practice with them in 4 hours at 2:30.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're great guys. They're all super nice. They're all really good lacrosse players. I mean, Bridger, as you can tell, he's insanely fast.
He is. He is very likely going to be one of our tailbacks for football this year.
He is a beast.
Um,
Um,
and I'm glad to hear you got to keep me updated if they ever start to become punks, you let me know and I'll handle
I,
that on this
I
end.
will.
All
But
right.
so far, so good.
All
So far,
right,
so
good.
good.
I'm glad to hear that.
What is your opinion on how club lacrosse has evolved at the youth and high school level?
Well, it has definitely evolved.
Yeah,
Right? I feel like every couple of years it seems to expand a little bit more. And I think that, obviously is a good thing. Um, but I think at the same time too, I think it puts a lot of stress on kids your age
yeah.
and families to feel like they're having to do stuff all year round.
To get better and
Yeah,
to
and
get
I
their
think
name out there.
yeah, and I think the problem with that is, and thankfully you're not falling trap to this, is if they're offering stuff all the time, it starts to make kids feel like they can't
Yeah,
do anything else.
yeah,
And I think number one, as a kid, and if you're a kid who just loves sports, like play as many sports as you can play.
yeah,
All of them transition and relate to one another and make you better at whatever your favorite sport is or whatever.
yeah. They also
Um,
translate into life skills too, like you were saying
yeah,
earlier.
absolutely. But I think again, the evolution of it, I think, is well, it's well intended and it's a good thing because I think it gives
Yeah,
kids an opportunity to get their name out there and get some exposure. And then especially as you start to get into high school, kind of finishing your freshman year and into your sophomore year, um, you want to be able to go play in events where you're playing against your peers, but
yeah,
from your peers from all over the country. So you kind of
yeah,
see where you stand, see how
yeah,
you stack up against kids who are playing all over the country. And I think the fact that it provides that opportunity is good. And then obviously, it is a huge exposure piece when it starts to come to college coaches getting a chance to see what you
yeah.
can do as a player.
That's what I think too. I think that when you're a kid, you should definitely play the most sports you can. But once you're starting to get into that recruiting piece, you should start to narrow down that sport that you want to play. If you're trying to play in college,
Sure.
um, you should, and then you should start playing in some showcase. Then it really comes down to like, okay, I want to go to this school. Where is this coach going to be? When is he going to be there? And you need to perform well. You know.
Yeah. And I think you just referenced it. I think the showcase thing that we're seeing now,
Yeah.
I think more and more of that is going to become a bigger avenue.
100%.
Because I think what college coaches are finding now is that there are too many tournaments and the tournaments are so big, they
Yeah.
invite so many teams that it is just impossible for them to
To
feel
see
like
everyone.
to feel like they're able to get out there and see everything. Whereas a showcase shrinks it down.
Yeah.
It's more intimate and you're able to kind of, I think for the player too, you're able to know that you're getting the opportunity to be visible in front of a large number of coaches.
Yeah. That's what I would say too. I mean, those showcase tournaments, I feel like they will help you they will help you get your name up there
Hmm.
and um having good coaches too is one of the things I would
Yep.
say. If you have a good coach that knows a lot of people, like as you know, Carl, Coach
Yeah.
Carl,
Yeah.
he knows a lot. I mean, his daughters go to Duke and play lacrosse, so
Yeah.
um and he knows some guys at Navy. So I think it's really cool that I have a coach that knows those types of guys, and
Hmm.
I think in the end that will help me later on to be able to get recruited and go to D1, D2, D3 school, you know,
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
lacrosse.
And I think the one thing is the more that you play, um, the one nice thing I think about lacrosse is even though it has grown so much, it's still pretty small in
Yeah,
comparison. Um, so, as you continue to play, you're going to meet more people, meet more
yeah,
coaches, meet more adults. And if you really focus on being the person that you are and building good relationships with them, when it comes the time to start to look at schools, having all those people to lean on to help connect you with different coaches and colleges is
yeah,
only going to be a benefit. So,
100%. Um, how do you balance winning on the field and teaching character off the field?
um, well, I think, it's funny, like for me, again, as a coach, I feel like the last thing I would ever talk my team about is winning.
Yeah,
I don't want a group of guys feeling like
they have
the,
to win.
yeah, and the results of the game are defining, are the defining thing for how they're doing. Um, I want it more to be like, let's focus on, our process. on you guys coming together as a team, us having a good culture, you guys working hard to help each other get better, and doing all the little things right. Because I think when you have a group that does that and does do the little things right, then winning kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said earlier, the most important thing, at least to me as a coach, is I want them to see that if they fully commit themselves to something and they work really hard at it and they do things the right way, well, then they're going to be successful
And they can
regardless.
achieve those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't want them looking up at a scoreboard after a game and having that be the decider as to whether or not they did well or not.
Yeah. No.
Sports is sports. Like
Yeah.
every time a whistle blows for opening face-off, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to win or lose.
Yep. I mean, and sports are fun, you know. That's you're saying. You play sports, learn to learn to work well with other people. So that's where
Yep.
sports comes in, and then being able to work with people.
Yeah. Yeah. But and I think to your point, like, hopefully with the understanding of, if you work hard and you play to your potential as a collective group, right? As a team,
Yeah.
like you're going to win plenty of games and you're
Yeah.
going to have those opportunities to celebrate
Winning.
together and enjoy all that stuff.
Yeah. Winning comes at winning just comes, you know. If
Yep.
you play as a team, if you play as one group, one whole, then winning will do its job.
Yep. Absolutely right.
What advice would you give to young players who want to make an impact beyond just goals and stats?
Um, I would think, the one thing that I definitely feel like, talking about club lacrosse and
Yeah.
I think so many people think like, you've got to focus on getting your name out there and getting as much exposure as you can. I think sometimes, not with everybody, and obviously not with you, with the way I hear you
Mm.
talking, like, I think what gets lost is, you know, part of a responsibility of any kid who chooses to play a team sport is the moment you choose to play a sport that is team based,
Yeah.
not golf or tennis or something
Yeah,
like that.
tennis, swimming.
Um, yeah, swimming is another one. But if you choose to play a team sport, you're responsible to try to make everyone around you better.
Yeah.
Um, and I think sometimes that gets lost when people get too focused on what they have to do in order to
Yeah.
get better. And like that's all, of course, part of it. That's part of your personal journey.
Yeah.
But I think it's not losing sight that when you play a team sport, it's not as much about you. You take a back seat. It's about trying to build good relationships and friendships and be supportive and make your teammates better.
Yeah,
Think
make
that's
the
a
team
good
better.
sign of like a good leader on a team. If you don't have some guys like that, um, team chemistry is a hard thing to build.
100%. Yeah, I like exactly how you worded that.
Yeah.
Chemistry is a hard thing to build if you don't have the leaders. You
Yeah.
know, if you have good leaders, and if you have a bunch of leaders, if you have a bunch of leaders, team chemistry will do its part, and you'll be a collective. Like
Yep.
that's one of the things coaches at our age are striving to do is teach kids how to work well and you know play together. Play together is what our coaches say to do is it's not one person. If you start ball hogging and playing your game, we're not going to win.
Yep. You're right.
Um, Being inducted into the Potomac Lacrosse
Potomac.
Hall
Yep.
of Fame is a huge honor. What did the moment mean to you?
It was a huge honor for sure.
Yeah,
And I think it just for me really more is um it's representative of uh the guys I got to play with on our high school teams that were pretty successful, and then the kids I got to coach to include your uncles and stuff like that. I feel like
yeah,
the recognition I got was really just a byproduct of having the privilege to work with people like that.
yeah,
They're the ones who, like I said, as a coach, like I don't focus a lot on success and winning and things like that. I focus on trying to instill the right things and then hoping, games are about players, not coaches.
yeah.
Um,
Players do
so
the
yeah, so I
playing.
think, to be honest, I think it's really more like, I got this very honored and humbling recognition, but it was the result of a lot of other people's hard work.
Yeah,
Players I got to play with, kids I got to coach, coaches I got to coach with.
Yeah.
It certainly was not something I did on my own.
Yeah. Big a big help, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Who were the mentors or role models that helped shape your own path in lacrosse?
Well, I can think of two in particular. I guess three. Obviously, my brother introducing me to the sport was
Yeah.
huge. I think otherwise, I don't know if I
Wouldn't
ever
even found
found
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he is, like I said, we're 5 yards apart, but he's always kind of been my best friend and someone who I looked up to
Yeah.
a lot. So he was always super supportive as I got involved with it and all of that. And then I think for me, sport-wise, positionally, I would say one would be the head Loyola lacrosse coach, Charlie Toomey,
Yeah.
who played goalie way back then, and he played in the early '90s when I was in about your age through
Yeah.
beginning of high school. But I always went to his goalie camps after he got out of college and started them.
Yeah.
And I just really liked the way he taught the position. Um, and then, got to know him going year after year, and he just
Yeah.
remained a good mentor for me. And then the other one would be the goalie coach that we had at Washington College when I was there. This was a gentleman by the name of Clint Evans who um, played goalie at Washington College back in the '70s.
Mhm.
But he is just a very blue collar Eastern Shore farm guy
Yeah.
who I think taught me a different level of being tough and being,
Yeah.
a good guy and a good teammate and a hard worker. Um, Not only did he teach me a lot about the position, but I think he helped me find um, maybe a higher level of expectation I should have for myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
my brother and those two coaches were probably, along with my parents, of course, were
Yeah.
probably the biggest impacts in my life, both just personally and in the
And
sport.
lacrosse wise, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, my parents are huge coaches. I mean, I don't I love all my coaches because they all help me, but, and that comes along, if you gotta find the right club, the right team,
Yep.
the right coaches, and if you do that, then you'll fall in love with the sport. That's what I'll say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think those inevitably will instill good things in you that when you get older, you'll
Yeah.
give back to younger kids.
I'll give it back.
Yeah.
What's one thing about you your players would be surprised to know?
Mm. Um, Maybe that my favorite sport is golf.
Okay, golf is
Yeah.
fun.
I love it. I think it's beautiful to just get out there.
Yeah,
And it's probably the one thing that I like that like the challenge is all yours, right? There's
yeah,
there's nothing to blame.
yeah.
But I think it's also just beautiful and relaxing and fun to get out with friends. And
Oh, it's so fun.
yeah, I would
We
say
live
that and fishing are probably my two favorite things that I love to do.
Yeah. I mean, we live on a golf course, so golfing is definitely one of the things I like to do, I play with my brother
Yeah,
once a week, once a month, something like that.
that's
And
awesome.
yeah, we'll go out and play 9 holes and get a Shirley Temple up at the club.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
probably a fun break for you because you've got school, you've got football, you've got lacrosse. Like
yeah,
it's a nice, like peaceful little break just to go have
100%.
some fun and just
Yeah,
relax.
and we're not even good. I mean, that's the most fun thing is we're not good,
Yeah.
Like putting like this last time we played, it was so funny. We didn't have a lefty club, so I used my driver and he used a righty putter that was probably like this tall. So that was good, but I mean, it was super fun. No, we didn't
That's
get mad
it.
at each other. It wasn't a competition. It was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
happy to hear that you do that,
yeah.
and just go out and have fun and be a kid because, obviously, you've got a lot going on, right? You've got
Yeah.
school and the responsibilities, and I'm sure your parents want you to do the best that you can do academically, and
Yeah.
you're pushing to play lacrosse at a high level and you're playing football. Like you've
Yeah.
got to take time to just go out and be a kid and have fun.
Yep, 100%. So we have an audience question from M. Light. He's
Oh,
asking,
gee, wonder who that is.
yeah, he's asking, what will it take for Washington College to return to greatness?
Ooh, that is a fair, big question. I think we have a coach who's been there now for 3 years and is an alum from the school. He played there in the 80s when they were really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think that will be a huge benefit as far as them
Yeah.
starting to get back to um, the culture that we had when the program was really, really strong.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's an issue and not a fun one to talk about. But I think the college itself has been struggling a little bit since like the COVID period, as far as just
Yeah.
enrollment and number of students and things like that. So I think the school itself needs to kind of try to
Get back
regroup,
on track.
yeah, and kind of figure out, kind of re-identify themselves as to who they really are. And
Yeah.
I think that is a type of place where um, a lot of student athlete minded kids look to go
Yeah.
for all different sports. And I think the school got away from that a little bit. And so I think if they can kind of find that again, I think it'll only further help strengthen the school first. And
Yeah.
then I think the program will come along with it after
Yeah.
that. It's
Other
fortunately,
athletics.
yeah, and I think it's fortunately a school it's still in a really strong conference for Division III lacrosse. So
Yeah.
so it'll help keep them like in the mix.
Yeah. 100%. Winning those big games, and then I think they'll get back on track, like you were saying. I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Um. So kind of a non-related lacrosse question.
Yeah.
What's your favorite lunch spot in Richmond?
Oh, uh, I started to become, I didn't know about it until my daughter really told me about it, but I've started to become a big Raising Cane's fan.
Raising Cane's fan. You like that?
Hmm.
A
I
lot of
do.
kids in my school like that. I mean, I
Do
like
they?
it, but it's all right.
Yeah, not great.
I mean, it's
What's your
okay. I
what's
mean,
your go-to? What's your
mm,
go-to spot? Maybe you can teach
probably
me.
Chick-fil-A. Probably Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A is
or
good.
Camp Pie.
What?
Hibachi.
No, I don't know that
You
one.
don't know what hibachi is? So hibachi is a Japanese restaurant, and you go in and they
Oh, is
cook
that where they do everything on that little grill in
they
front of you?
they cook everything in front of you, and their food is so good. It is. I recommend it. It's 5 stars for sure.
All right. Is
You
there a certain one we need to go to? I'm going to take the
No,
family.
what Short Pump, the one in Short Pump, Broad
Okay.
Street? No, I don't know, but it's in Short Pump. It's next to some car wash spot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
look it up.
make sure you get double yum yum, double yum yum. Don't get the
Double,
ginger sauce.
double yum yum, no ginger sauce.
Yeah,
All right.
and then you get steak, chicken, seafood. I mean, it's so good.
All right. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Um, Last episode I talked to Ben Ware. He plays on the Philadelphia Water Dogs. What do you predict the score when they play the Atlas on Monday?
Ooh, what do
Score
I think the
prediction.
score's going to be?
Yeah, they're playing the Atlas.
I'm going to go Water Dogs 15-13.
50. Okay, it's kind of close. They were when they played the Whip Snakes, it was 14-12. So it's basically one up, one up, one up.
Yeah, I'm thinking down the stretch here, these PLL playoff games are going to be pretty
Yeah.
tight games,
Yeah,
which will be good. I think
yeah,
it'll be
I know
good for,
that's what's fun to watch. Not
yeah,
blowouts, close game. It just goes
yep,
back and forth.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's good for people that are choosing to, learn more about the sport and watch it on TV. Like they want to
yeah,
watch something that's exciting, and then, hopefully there are
yeah,
no blowouts because those get kind of boring to watch.
yeah, 100%. Then you're just like, okay, they're gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, if you were stranded on a deserted island and could only bring Mark or Michael White, which one are you picking?
Michael for sure.
Michael for sure. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Oh, don't let Mark watch this.
I hope I know he will, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a text here later.
Yeah, 100%. And finally, we could always end with this. What is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, well, anytime if I have to sing, everyone suffers.
Everyone suffers.
If I have to sing, period.
Everyone
But a
suffers.
go-to karaoke song. I don't know. I'd probably go with something Eric Church related.
Eric Church.
I don't know which one, but I probably go with country artist Eric Church.
Yeah, Eric Church. I mean, I like Eric Church. What's one of it? I'm trying to think what song I know really good one by him. I can't remember what it is, but I'll tell you when I remember what it is.
All right.
Mine, I've said a bunch. I mean, I've said Sweet Caroline. I
That's a
want to
great
dance
one.
with somebody.
Yep.
Classics. But that's
Yeah.
probably what I would do.
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately, I would ruin whatever song it was because I'm
yeah.
not a good singer.
Yeah, me neither. I'm a horrible singer. My dad is actually really good at singing,
Is
so
he?
it's so funny. Yeah, he sings all the time, literally all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but his probably best song is What's one of his best songs? Probably what can he sing really? Probably that Frozen Let It Go. He sings Let
Yeah,
It Go really good. But
really.
it's so funny. I
That's
mean,
not an easy song to sing either.
no,
So he's
he's
actually a really good singer, huh?
really good singer. I mean, my whole family tells him he should do singing, but he's never gonna do singing.
Well, you
Yeah.
should put him in a band.
Yeah, put him in a band. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. It's such a huge honor talking with you.
Jetty, thank you. The honor was all mine, bud.
Yeah.